Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Data Dispatch. I hope you guys have all had a great weekend, but we got to get ready for tomorrow. That is because in less than 24 hours, Palantir Technologies is going to be releasing their next quarter earnings report. And right now, in overnight trading, we are seeing resistance at about the 24. If PLTR does have a positive earnings report, we could potentially see a breakout. So we have a lot to talk about in this video, specifically what things we're going to be looking forward to in this earnings, and also we have analysts that are starting to increase their price targets right before earnings is being released. We also need to cover that. So if you are a new or returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, and of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now pop it up on the screen here. Like I said, in the overnight hours, we got PLTR up about 2.5%, sitting right now at 23.90, seeing a little bit of resistance here right at the 24. In terms of what we have in technical analysis and what we're seeing with the setup right here, remember PLTR had that more of a bearish type of technical pattern here, this head and shoulders, but what we're seeing right now is more of a cup and handle type of pattern starting to be established here. And you can see here this resistance at this 23. Palantir is trading right around this level right now, touching this 24 in the overnight trading. We'll see if this continues to develop, and if we see this breakout above this $24 level of resistance, of course, compiled with a positive earnings. Remember, that's going to be happening post-market is when the actual report will be coming. We could see PLTR possibly having another gap being created and another push we could possibly see here to the new 52-week year-to-date high. Now, let's talk about PLTR. Like I said, some of the analysts here have raised their price targets and what this specifically means for the stock itself. Jefferies, we've talked about them before, just raised their actual target on PLTR ahead of earnings right here. And specifically, the numerical value, what they raised their target was from to $24 from 22. Now, with PLTR, they have changed their price targets a few times. They've also changed it from 22, from 13. They've also changed it from 18 back down to 13. They've made many adjustments, but sitting right now, raising it here to $24 right here. They do have a success rate of 42% and an average year return right now of minus 4.7%. So 42%, not a horrible, successful percentage rate in terms of actual predicting the market. Those can be very hard to do, but where we're sitting at and what you're seeing right here is anticipation that PLTR is going to report a positive earnings. And the specific things that we are looking for, number one is billings. We're going to be keeping a close eye on that, specifically looking at Palantir's success with artificial intelligence and whether or not these boot camps have really been proven to be successful. We've seen PLTR over the most recent time have came out with articles and even statements saying that they are doing an average of about 5 boot camps per day, which this is really effective. The question is, what's the conversion of those boot camps? Because remember, these are trial periods for potential clients to test out their software for completely free. So we're going to be taking a look at the conversions, and what this really leads into is right here, the customer additions, specifically looking at the commercial side of things. Because remember, in the last quarter earnings report, a big success factor that really helped launch the stock to the next incremental level was the fact that we had large increases in customer counts and also in addition to customer revenue, as those kind of correlate with each other. So talking about customer additions and also specifically governmental sales right here, we can't forget about governmental sales because everybody is getting very excited about them getting particularly invested kind of intertwined within the commercial side of things. However, governmental sales, we have still seen success on that part. We've seen that with the Titan contract. We've seen PLTR that has continued to what was basically its main source of revenue. Still, of course, continuing on those relationships, further building its credibility. Because the fact that if they work with the government, that's a great credibility factor for potential clients that want to utilize PLTR in terms of bringing positive operations, productivity, efficiency by utilizing these AI products that Palantir does have to offer. In addition, also, one thing to note here that a lot of people, if you're newer to PLTR, if you haven't seen a lot of its historical information talking about PLTR has only been trading for about the last 3 years. Its actual all-time high the tech stock still trades 44% its all-time highs. And analysts right here, of course, are skeptical of the upcoming earnings report. Everybody's looking at that. But specifically, this is an interesting numerical value right here, just in terms of percentage. It's still 44% below its all-time highs. This is back kind of more around the area where PLTR IPO'd. And the fact that where PLTR is came now, and the fact that it's still 44% from its all-time high shows you, just in terms of emotion and momentum, volatility, and buying pressure, where PLTR could go when you have more of a concrete type of data in terms of financials and earnings reports that do support the justification of its valuation, which is the biggest criticism right now where we sit at, of course, is a valuation. But even with that, you are seeing, like I said, some analysts right here that are continuing to raise their price targets. So also, another cool thing that I did see right here, earnings per share revisions in the last 90 days. This was sitting at 7. We see 8 right here as more analysts are starting to improve and increase the revisions in terms of the bullish directions right here. You see none in the bearish direction. And what we're going to be specifically talking about is after post-market here, Palantir is expected, what Wall Street is expecting, 8 cents per share at a gap estimate right here at 3 cents, with revenue at about 617 million. If you want to get all the data that I get on Seeking Alpha, make sure you check out my affiliate link down in the description. You can get 20% off a membership. But with that being said, PLTR analysts have continued to establish this high type of bar that PLTR might hit. And in the recent quarters, they've done that. They've smashed all these analyst expectations, and that's why we're seeing these large influxes in the actual valuation and the stock price of PLTR. And the fact that the last earnings report that the stock spiked 30% in a single session after reporting its in-line earnings, and of course, its improved forecast revenue. So looking at the forecast, looking at what analysts are coming in here, Data Dispatch, we're bullish on PLTR. Also, in addition, one of the main culprits that I really liked about the stock specifically is the fact that we've seen a lot of public contracts that have came to fruition in terms of the commercial and the governmental side of things. And why I like this is because this shows you all the things that are happening right now, but we're still not seeing everything that's happening behind the scenes. And that's what we're going to specifically see. A continuation into Palantir's, I want to say, venture. They're only at a $50 billion market cap right now. And if you compare that to some other AI stocks, such as NVIDIA, that's really experienced this explosion, the question is, when is PLTR really going to have that NVIDIA type moment? And I think that's just going to be a matter of time, and it's going to be depending on how the company does in future earnings reports. S&P 500 inclusion, that is a big anticipator that is sitting on the sidelines. That's only going to come with a matter of time. But I think if another quarter of GAAP profitability comes out, then that's just another further justification for the S&P 500 review board that, hey, maybe they should include it in the next quarterly review. That's all about I have for you guys. We'll be keeping a close eye tomorrow. Be ready to watch the video tomorrow because we're going to be coming out with what earnings will do. I want to know down in the comments, what do you guys think? Do you think they're going to be earnings? If they do, where do you think the price is going to go? Do you think they're going to be in line? What are we going to see? And if they, for some reason, don't happen to make earnings, where could you see a little bit of a pullback for PLTR finding support? Other than that, take care. Peace out. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Let's have a good week of trading. Bye.